So we've had a 3-2 home defeat against Blackstones today, and I mean it was a whirlwind first half with 4 of the goals coming in that half, and then the early penalty in the second half, which ended up being the winner. But I don't really know how to describe what we've just seen. I mean, the wind didn't help, but it was the same for both sides.
Yeah, I think Spenny last week was a gut wrencher because of how good the performance was. Then to concede a penalty in like added time, 92nd minute, wasn't it? I think. But this week's a gut wrencher because of the level of performance second half and the goals that we conceded, which for me, you know, I get on well with Abbas, you might say they're good play, but I look at it and go, good counter-attacking play, yeah. I look at it and I go, that's really poor defending, individually and collectively. I changed the way we played today due to the conditions, so we went a little bit bigger. We went with 2 bigger lads up top. You know, the reason for that was because of the conditions, and hence Sam Harris going up top. Thought we started really well. I asked us to turn them a lot today and play in their half and get as many crosses or balls in the box as much as possible, because I thought that due to the conditions that would be the thing that would prove decisive. I thought they played some really good football at times, but that wasn't. I know we can play, but maybe we didn't play enough. I think we probably huffed and puffed a little bit second half, but I thought where we got our joy was getting the ball in behind. I look at the first goal, where we've got a free kick, we put the ball in the box, we've got across the front, brilliant. We then switch off and we concede where we've gone to jump and press the ball. We've won the ball back, and some might look at it and go, yeah, but Luke, you've jumped and then you've isolated, and we've got an overload further up the pitch, yes, but then we've got good possession of the ball and giving it away. Then we're therefore disorganised, out of possession, which then means that then they counter-attacked, which I said to the lads, that is something that they're good at. They've got good players in those areas and they're ruthless. And fair play to them, the way in which they work the ball and the timing of the pass and the finish, I thought fair play. We then score another one by a good ball down the side. I thought Gene actually did really well today. I think he made Sam Harris's mind up, and Sam's took his goal really well, and I thought he was really good. We then have a massive chance with Lukey, and I think he's been superb this season, but that's got to go in. If that goes in, that's 3-1. That's a big thing for us, because we've got a 2-goal cushion, and probably knocks a bit of their stuffing out at that particular point, because I thought we had a little bit of a purple patch. But then we let them in again, poor 1v1 defending. How many times I have to say we have to cover that space where potentially the winger will go in order to support the person who's engaging the ball. I'll have to keep saying it, but we didn't do that, and then we've allowed someone a tap in from a yard out when we've got more bodies in the box than they have. It's just unacceptable. So we regrouped at half time. A few words from me, and it wasn't really that much direction in terms of tactical play. It was more stick to the plan, execute it better, and you'll create chances. Didn't think we really did that. We've obviously conceded a penalty where, was it a penalty, was it not a penalty? For me, it's in the box. 2, it's a challenge where once again, it gives the referee the opportunity to potentially give it. We're putting that particular phase and example in the referee's hands as opposed to our own hands. I think after that, I still think we had 2 or 3 really good chances. I think one from Rob in the box where I think it's spilt to him. One from Sam Harris where we've played a diagonal ball over the top, and I think it was just execution in terms of surface of foot to execute the lob. We huffed and puffed, but we didn't really test second half. I then tried to change a few things in terms of shape throughout the game, because we have to be adaptable, and players not always following instructions and not executing it as well. And you know, we've got to remember we have got some really young players. However, how can I put this? For what they expect from me and the club to what they perform week in, week out is too erratic. Therefore, this is why we get the results. And that's fine in terms of if it's up and down in some respects because of their ages, but some of them we've got to learn fast. Because I'm at a point now, if we need to go backwards a little bit and reflect and go, have we got players here that we need to do what we want to do moving forward? And if that means me having to make some tough decisions, I will make those tough decisions for the best of the football club if we need to go a little bit backwards and look at the next season and the next season, those things, because I want to get this football club back to where it is. But what we're doing, if we keep doing the same things, they say, don't they, you keep doing the same things and expecting different results is a sign of madness, and I definitely won't do that. So there's a lot for me and my staff to look at and go, you know, and that's not just based upon today. That's been a few games now, in the fact that, you know, we've lost 3 out of the last 4, and for very different reasons, where we have a couple of good performances and then not so good. And that's fine when you've got players that are young, but also in terms of their expectation from the club is a little bit less. I'm talking financially, okay? But where we're at the minute, the consistency has to be better. So I have to reflect with that with my staff, and we will do that Monday night. And we then need to prepare for the next game. I'm not sure at the minute who that is against, Benny.
Ashby, I don't know.
Yeah, so longest visit of the season, you know. Because I see this period and this block of games as an opportunity for us to really kick on. And that's no disrespect to anyone we're playing. I just look at it and go, on a Saturday to Saturday, our preparation will be meticulous apart from Skegness and then Grantham, then the Skegness game. So we'll obviously have to look at that, but we can't keep doing the same things. And the differential in performance is way too much. I have to also look at it from myself and go, okay, am I getting the best out of the group we've got here in terms of how I relay things to them, all those behaviours and all that sort of thing. I have to look at myself equally. They have to look at themselves. But then I look at things, Benny, and I look at it and I go, but then the level of performance we got against Sherwood last week, my behaviours were no different to what it was today, or was it against Harleston, or was it against Boston, etc., etc. That's consistent, and I will have high expectations, and I'm not gonna veer away from that, because high expectations is what this club needs, in my opinion. So that's where we're at, you know. Injury updates and things and other players. So we had a few go out on loan. Alex Young's gone out on loan to Neverton. Ollie Williams has gone out on loan to Holbeach. Luke Nicholson will be going out on loan to Holbeach, I believe, as well, just for some game time. Carl Barker was injured today and then is away for a few weeks now. So we obviously needed to look at things there anyway. Sam Bennett, I'm hopeful, is back in the next couple of weeks. Palis Falcao is back on the grass. He will be, he'll be in and amongst it probably next Saturday. But he also has had quite a period of time out. Obviously, you saw today we brought in Nick DaCosta, who will be a good player, but he's obviously, and is a good player, shall I say, but obviously needs minutes and is coming back into football after a period away. And he came from Yaxley. And then obviously Ethan Wilson was with us today, but wasn't in the 16. He was just there as the 17th player today, and he's still a big part of the group. But he's got things that he's working on at the minute. So the group's really competitive. The one I missed as well is Kern Miller as well. You know, he's had a bit of a period of time away from the football club. So the squad's competitive, and we've got some really good players. But some need to be more consistent with their performance, and that's where we're at. But you know, I must give credit to Blackstones, and I don't want to not give credit to Blackstones. I think Abbas and Woody have done a phenomenal job there, and they've got a really good group of young, hungry players. And I thought some of their play at times was very, very good. The bravery to get on the ball, to secure the ball, all those types of things. Going forward, I thought they did really well at times. So fair play to them, and you know, we wish them all the best moving forward. But we've got to concentrate on ourselves. But when I reflect and look at the 2 goals we've scored, it's because we've executed the plans well. We've then missed, you know, and this is a common theme, but we've missed 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. Like, I'm not talking half chances. I'm talking you've got to score chances, or at least make the goalkeeper work chances. And we've conceded 3 really poor goals. So if you couple them together, you're probably not going to get many points or wins. And we have to look at it as a collective, because attackers will say, well, we've scored 2 goals again, Hips. We've conceded 3. Defenders will look at it, we've created 6 big chances. We need to be taking 3 or 4. But we have to look at it as a collective. So a little bit of searching for myself, I think, at the minute, in terms of what we do moving forward. But as I say, fully committed to getting it right. And I think it's a young group, but some of them have to learn fast, or faster, shall I say. But they've also shown that they can do it as well. But doing it consistently is a different kettle of fish. And I'm not asking any more or any less of them every week. So that also boils down to mentality. And we have a lot of players here that aspire to play a higher level than this. Therefore, as I've said to the players, if you want to go on and play step 4, step 3 and beyond, you need to be in the top 3 players on the pitch week in, week out. Because going to the next level is really difficult. So, that's where we're at. We need to get it right. And if it means making a few changes and going a little bit backwards, then I think that's the best thing for the football club in terms of the first team. Until anybody tells me otherwise, that's what I will do. Disappointing. Lots to learn, lots to reflect on, and go again Saturday. And thank you once again for all the support. It's great to see so many behind the goal as well today. So